hours from River Valley Foods in Syracuse, New York. We're a full-service DSD grocery distributor that services upstate New York into central Pennsylvania as well. Our customers range from big box retailers out there, big grocery stores, distribution centers, and also convenience stores and drugstores. So we have a whole range of deliveries that our drivers will see during the day. We implemented MobileCast, which was shortly after I started. It was probably 1 to 2 years after. We started realizing how important that data was that we got, because we could start, counseling our driver crews on, how their day went. We could start to see how long it took at our customers. Before, it was kind of shot in the dark with this, but now with, MobileCast, it was huge for us to see all that data coming back in and going and making changes on the fly every day, pushing it out to the following week routes. They adopted to it pretty quickly. At first, they were a little weary of being tracked. They knew their performance could potentially be, looked at a little more carefully, but we're still at the point now where we're investigating ways to implement driver incentives, and MobileCast will be a huge way to do that. And the drivers responded to it great because they loved, not being held under the gun if they're supposed to be at a store for 15 minutes and it actually took a half hour every week. So that data was huge for us. And then the other thing was, shortly after I started, we purchased a specialty foods company. When we merged our two companies together, our frozen foods division and our specialty foods division, we sat down and probably for a few days put all of our customers into the system, and we ended up cutting 10 routes, weekly routes, which for us was huge. We calculated it to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $200,000 annually, which is obviously a pretty significant figure. And that's an entire piece of equipment. That allows us to kind of streamline our driver crew. If you have some drivers that are weaker, you can kind of weed those guys out, and you end up having a much better business after all. So that was the biggest thing that we noticed when we did this and we decided to use the data that we had on hand, was that we could cut that many routes. It was huge. And even today, in the last year or so, I'll still look at our routes monthly, and if there's changes that we can make, then we can cut stops out, move them to a different day. That happens all the time, and it's always changing, and it's always exciting. What are you waiting for? Everybody has a smartphone now, everybody has a PC, like a tablet. There's no reason not to use all that information that we have to make your business better. We've seen it firsthand how much it can help, and there's no reason to wait or drag your feet or be afraid of drivers not adopting it. They will, and it's very successful.